Good day. Merry Christmas, everybody, on this frigid December day in Ontario, Southern Ontario. Welcome to Canadian Freedom, right? Today I want to talk about a short video here to talk about Bill C-234. Now, this was a bill proposed by the Conservatives. Basically, this goes back to when the Liberals, because they were pressured by their MPs in Eastern Canada, because the constituents were up in arms about the carbon tax. So again, as we all know, Trudeau carved out the carbon tax for Eastern Ontario or Eastern Canadians because they didn't want to lose their seats. They didn't want to lose their support in Eastern Canada, which has typically been very liberal, and they see the polls. So that was a game, a carve out they did, trying to maintain some of that support. Now, obviously, that divides Canadians because the rest of the country still has to pay the carbon tax, namely farmers who've been hit with a lot of extra tax and regulation over the last 8 years under Trudeau. So the bill was C-234. Basically, it was carving out for the carbon tax for farmers on diesel fuel and a number of other things. And the bill went through the House, the Parliament, and the other parties, Conservatives, NDP, and Bloc. Obviously, the majority of the House passed the bill. Now, Trudeau wasn't happy. Obviously, he hates being wrong. He hates losing. He doesn't care about Canadians. He doesn't care about the farmers. So what they did is, let me backtrack a little bit. So when a new bill or law comes into place in Parliament and it goes through the vote, has a majority say yes to whatever bill at Parliament, it goes to the Senate. And the Senate then ratifies it, or they can occasionally make little amendments to the bill, and then it would go back and come back again to be affirmed. So what happened is, because he doesn't want to be seen wrong or carving out again, he's caving to his socialist, communist, protest wingnut Stephen Guilbeault, his Minister of Environment and / Climate Change. He can't cave because Stephen Guilbeault said that he will resign. So what does he do? He calls up the Liberal senators in the Senate, which, by the way, are all appointed in the Senate, and says, no, we're not going to pass this bill, basically. I want you to put amendments on this bill, so it has to come back. So basically, he's playing games with the Senate, which is curious, because here's what he had to say about the Senate.
I think removing partisanship in a significant way from the Senate has been good for our democracy, good for our institutions. I think Mr. Scheer will have to explain to Canadians, what his vision for the Senate.
So there he is talking about how he's brought partisanship to the Senate, which is completely unbelievable. Unbelievable. So there you have it, folks. He says he's brought impartiality, basically, to the Senate in the name of democracy for us. But then, what does he do? Well, BC 234 for the farmers passes through the Parliament, gets to the Senate. He decides to call up the senator buddies and tell them, doesn't matter what your constituents say or where you're from or impartiality, you're going to put amendments in. We are not passing this bill. So it shows you, like, he does not care about Canadians. He cares about being right, not losing, and keeping this damn carbon tax on the farmers, truckers, and indigenous groups. Let's hear Pierre's plan around this, because I thought it was great. You know, enough screwing around. So let's listen to Pierre.
His solution? To quadruple the carbon tax. Not just on the gas that you put in your car or the heat that warms your home, but on the farmers and the truckers who bring us our food. Yesterday, after manipulation and intimidation by Justin Trudeau, Liberal senators voted to gut a common sense conservative bill that would have taken the tax off of our farmers. Just in time for Christmas, Justin Trudeau has ensured that your turkey dinner will have a big, fat, growing carbon tax caked on top of it. That is not part of the recipe for turkey dinner that Canadians were looking for. But yet, late yesterday, there were those Liberal senators who had received personal calls from Justin Trudeau, intimidating calls from a Prime Minister who claimed that he would respect the independence of the Senate, has now stepped in to make sure not only that Canadians continue to pay the tax, but that it goes higher and higher still. Well, I've got news for Justin Trudeau. You've ruined Christmas for Canadians. Common sense conservatives are going to ruin your vacation as well. We are going to put in thousands of amendments at committee and in the House of Commons, forcing all-night, round-the-clock voting to block your $20 billion of inflationary spending and the rest of your economically destructive plans until you agree to our demand to take the tax off farmers, First Nations, and families. You will have no rest until the tax is gone.
Nicely done, Pierre. The time for talk is over. It's time to stand up for people. I mean, this country is going in a complete damaging direction under Trudeau. I mean, everything's getting way more expensive, and this carbon tax is just added on top of it. You know, what is his plan? You know, we're going to put farmers out of business. Truckers, they're just going to say, screw it. I mean, small business is feeling it. People are feeling it. The gas pumps everywhere. You know, and it's just going to continue to go up. It's not working. You know, if you want to change behavior around emissions, you don't punish everybody, okay? You incent people. You incent business. You incent the oil and gas industry. Say, hey, if you can do this cleaner, hey, you'll, pay way less tax or no tax, whatever you got to do. You incent behavior. You don't punish the whole country to reduce greenhouse emissions, which, by the way, CO2, one, is a natural element, and two, well, now they're talking about methane, but like, the carbon tax in Canada is not helping the planet. You know, they're hiding behind this. That's the only thing they can play, the Liberals. Because there is people scared. Because all the fear-mongering around it over the years has made people scared about it. You know, the CBC still runs all these ridiculous bits on global warming and climate change. It's craziness. You know, it's time for change. We can't go 2 more years under Trudeau and these Liberals. It's time to vote for Pierre. It's time for change. If you agree, like, share this video, subscribe to my channel. I'm just a little guy. It'll make me feel good. But we need to change. Thanks for watching.